Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. Today's article is coming from RadarOnline.com. The headline of the article read, Wendy Williams' husband threatens staff to stay silent amid cheating scandal. Now, let me read some of the article, not all of it, and I'll just reference what the rest of it was about. The Wendy host took a break amid the alleged affairs and her health issues. Wendy Williams have made headlines recently because of her bizarre behavior, health issues, and husband's bombshell cheating scandal. Now, RadarOnline.com exclusively revealed her husband Kevin Hunter has been trying to hide their secrets by threatening the staff of her show. Kevin sat down the entire Wendy staff on Monday morning, a source told Radar. Everyone thought that Kevin was going to provide an update on Wendy's health, but instead Kevin ranted for almost an hour about the leaks coming out of the show to the press. Hunter allegedly read specific articles and headlines in an intimidating voice to the workers. He was overly paranoid about any information about their private life leaking, the insider said. Williams, 54, has taken off of her show, blaming health issues for her absence. The strange part was he provided no update on Wendy Williams' health, when she would be back, or how she was feeling, which was clearly what everybody wanted to know. Instead, he said that everyone at the show needs to do their jobs, the insider said. He was threatening that whomever was the source would be caught, and Hunter is determined to find the culprit, as he has been testing the staff by leaking out information to certain people to see if he can catch someone. As Radar reported, Williams has been exhibiting strange behavior for months. In December, she announced she fractured her shoulder. She was saying that the article says that she had never taken pain medicine in her life except for when she got snatched about 20 years ago. And she said she never took it until this week, and that's what she wrote on Instagram, seemingly suggesting that the medications is the cause of her slurred speech and behavior. Now, the day before the announcement, she explained why she frequently sits down during the show. Basically, and I'm paraphrasing, she told the audience that, it's come to her attention that they've been noticing and asking why she's sitting. And she just told them, I don't just sit here. I've been sitting in the audience. I sit to do my demo projects as well. And she said did they want to know why she sits? And then she said, because I want to. She told the audience, this is my show. This is how I want it. I bust my behind on this show every single day. The article goes on to also say that, when they mentioned her fainting on Halloween, and it was from overheating of the costume, and also the hyperthyroid, the hyperthyroid condition, Graves' disease, thyroid. I'm sorry, I couldn't read that for nothing. And she says the article mentions that she has been dealing with her husband's cheating scandal with his secret mistress, Sharina. I think that's the way you pronounce her name, Serena Hudson. I don't know why they say secret. Everybody knows about it. How Serena is supposed to be pregnant, and this is supposed to be the second time, allegedly, which both Wendy and Kevin denies. The article goes on to say that her, affair had been on, that affair with Hudson and Kevin had been going on for 10 years, and that even recently, the house that supposedly he bought his mistress is up for sale now. It's on the market. It's listed on the market, which that was news to me today. The article says that she's supposed to return next week, and this article was written earlier today. Now, my spill on it is, first of all, you don't take your wife's staff and have an almost hour-long rant. And I know, he works on a job, but taking that staff on the side without Wendy being there, to me that was wrong. You don't do that. In fact, any one of us, we don't go to, whether we work together or not, we don't go to your wife or your husband's job acting a fool. You just don't do that. Now, to me, the staff would feel some kind of way if Wendy's husband came in there ranting and trying to intimidate them and reading articles in an intimidating way. To me, if they got any information, they're gonna spill it because, how dare you? Which is why I'm reading this article, because evidently someone spilled the information on what the meeting was about. So evidently, Kevin, it didn't work. Also, that's it. Besides it being stupid, he's sacrificing, or could be sacrificing, his wife's career because of his ego and his selfishness. Not only by talking to the staff, and I have heard word that that the show may be canceled. I don't know whether that's rumor or not, but I've heard articles. I've heard it from other YouTube creators. So I'm not sure about that. But you just, because of his ego, and he wants to have a mistress and a wife, it appears to me. Now, Kevin could stop all this nonsense by ending the alleged affair. He could stop all of this. Now, the problem with that is allegedly he's been with this lady for 10 years. So she got a lot to say. I can see her writing a tell-all book. I can see her on TV shows, talk shows, TV appearances, all of it. So Kevin has made a mess out of this. And he's made a mess out of, his marriage. How could this mistress just be with somebody's husband that everybody knows she's the mistress and Wendy is the wife? I mean, all this situation is just getting messier and messier and bad for him, Wendy, and the mistress. Now, to me, if he wants the mistress, why don't he just leave Wendy alone? Because it looks like, to me, it appears like she's under a lot of stress. And I don't believe it's all from the job, a lot of stress. And that could aggravate any condition. And stress we all know that stress is not our friend, that stress can create more conditions. So to me, and I hate to put it this way, but this is what came to mind when I was reading all this. Wendy seems to be dying slowly. And I don't want to say Kevin's killing her. I don't mean directly, Allegedly, people are saying that's what's wrong with her arm, but I don't know about that. I don't know whether I would think that Wendy is smarter than that. I would think that Wendy would not stand for that, because the way she has commented on her show when I used to watch it, to me, she would be smarter to let somebody hit her. So I'm gonna say she fractured it some kind of way. I don't know whether she fell down the stairs. I don't even know if she ever mentioned how. But this Kevin guy is so selfish. He wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. Now, this is a lesson for all married people. Married men that's cheating, evaluate what and who is important in your life. Because if you really love someone, you will not send them through this. And then for the whole world to know that you cheating, got a side chick and bought her a home and whatever. And this your wife, Wendy, for instance, she's got a show and everybody knows her. So every time something come up, people gonna say, yeah, and what about your husband? Take care of your husband. Why you saying this about this person? You ought to be seeing about your husband. That's got to be weighing on her. Kevin is just building that web of deception. And it's, like I said, it's getting messier and messier. And I can see the powers that be. I can see them saying, you know what? We're losing our audience. We're going to get rid of her. Now, why would you put your wife's livelihood in jeopardy? It's bad enough that her, she has the grave disease and, and she now taking medication, no matter what way it happened, her arm is hurt. She's taking medication. Her speech is slurred. So they're looking at that. And before now, Wendy prided herself on not missing days. So it's got to be something for Wendy Williams to miss days on her work. Something has to be weighing on her. And you know what, people? Although I am not a fan of hers, I don't wish anybody gets sick. And especially stressing out, maybe because what her husband is doing. Now you gotta look at Wendy in another light too. She has, I don't know, maybe the last couple of years, because I stopped watching because she was just becoming a mean girl. A lot of people are saying this is karma. And, Wendy has talked a lot of stuff, that she did not have receipts about, as far as people having STDs, and as far as a certain woman, she's not wife material, she's hit it and quit it material and all that. She has said some things, and you just cannot keep, I can understand her job, it's her job to spill tea or whatever, but you better have some receipts as far as when you're talking about people having STDs, because if if they come back and prove that you're lying, Wendy is setting herself up for a lawsuit or being fired or what have you. So, although, in my opinion, with her dishing it out, and she's not taking it very well when it's dished on her. You know what I mean? She can't take when people are talking about her, but she dishing it out. So Wendy Williams has to have, she has to be strong about it, because, she's talked about people, so you got to be able to take it. That's the way I feel about it. Like I said, I don't wish the illness on anyone, but sometimes you have to watch, putting illnesses on other people, telling of other people illnesses, like she spilled the beans on one of the athletes' wife, saying that she had cancer, and that was private information, and she let the world know about that. You just can't do that. Things come back to you. So I can imagine the stress that she's under. Like I said, that could be aggravating her condition. Now, I'm in no position to tell Wendy what to do. However, if it were me, I'd count my losses and leave that sucker before things get worse with my health. Wendy Williams is not a dummy by far, but Kevin got her looking real crazy. He's got her looking real weak. Wendy Williams, you can do bad all by yourself. You really can. You don't need nobody stressing you out. Wendy could go back on her show, still keep her format as far as, telling what's going on with this person and that person. But she doesn't have to insult people. I mean, I watched her while one of the audience members, and I don't know what the topic was, but she called her Blackie. It was a black lady, beautiful black lady, but the way she called her Blackie was colorism. To me, it just didn't set well. I mean, we look at the lady and know she black, but the way she said it, and you just can't be a mean girl like that. And let's not forget this mistress. What kind of woman allows herself knowingly to be the side chick, the side piece, the mistress? Why doesn't she value herself to want a man to herself and not be a sister wife? What kind of man, I didn't mean to say that, what kind of woman would do that? I mean, sometimes, women get cheated on, yeah. Men have side pieces, yeah. But most times, if the wife know it, she's not addressing it. And I think the average woman, if they were like in Wendy's shoes, if they hear it so much and hear so much, Wendy got money to hire a private detective. So if she don't believe all the rumors, get you a detective. But something tells me Wendy knows, and Wendy just does not want to confront it, because if you confront something, that means you have to do something about it. And I don't think Wendy is ready to do anything about it. And if she does, kudos to you, because I think she could be you don't have to be married. That's what I'm saying. If somebody is abusing you in any kind of way, you don't have to take the abuse. And I'm not just talking about Wendy, anybody, man or woman. You don't have to take abuse. If someone's treating you bad, if someone's cheating on you all the time, there's nothing shameful about being single. Getting back to being a mistress, those ladies, do not sell yourself short. You're worth more than that. But like I said, at this point, if Kevin broke off with her, this alleged affair, this lady would write that tell-all book. I don't know. It would get really messy. But Kevin had he took the vows with Wendy. So it was up to him to not get into the any affair. Because if it wasn't Miss Hudson, it'd probably be somebody else. It's up to him to be loyal to Wendy. It's up to him to be faithful and not defile the marriage bed. It's up to Kevin to set things right and be loyal and truthful and a good husband to Wendy. Because that part of it, I can feel for Wendy, although I think, some karma has set in. She is a mean girl on her show, which is another part of how I hate that part of it, because it was a time like when Wendy first got her show, there was a certain humbleness to Wendy. Now she spilled the tea and everything, but there was a humbleness. In a couple of shows she cried because, this TV show and things was going good. She was like, oh, this is my dream. But now that humbleness is gone, and like I said, she's become a mean girl, and I hope that she comes back from that, being sick, having all this stress, and so a lot of times that has a way of making you humble. But if the article is correct in saying, this is my show, and I do what I want to type attitude. Yeah, it is your show and you do what you want, but you also have sponsors. You also have sponsors that if the powers that be say, what, this is not what it was, and, she's doing more harm, everybody can be replaced, Wendy. Everybody can replace. I don't care. Trump can be replaced, hopefully soon. I just had to throw that in. But anyway, that's all I got. I don't want to be too hard on Wendy because, karma seems to be kicking her in the butt. So, I don't want to come right behind it and do the same. I just want to just say again, Wendy, you can do bad all by yourself. So, get yourself together, and revamp. If I was her, I would revamp my show. So, whatever I said, if I'm pulling illnesses on someone, as far as telling people, this famous singer having STD, and the singer got kind of real mad about it, so, but, have your receipts before you talk, and she doesn't have to be a mean girl about it. She can tell it like there's a lot of, shows that kind of, tell the gossip and, tell what's going on with people, and they're not mean about it. TMZ, they just put it out there and people have their opinions about it, but from what I see, they're mindful of, of the way they tell it. And if one person tells something kind of tacky, then one of the other, hosts on the show will kind of pull it in for them, but Wendy's up there by herself. So what she says, nobody's up there to pull it back for her, because the audience, they clap for everything. They like little minions, like they mindless, like they don't have a mind of their own. Wendy say the moon is purple and they clap, and that's right. Just mindless, because it's Wendy. Have your own opinion. Think for yourself. You can listen to her, but you ain't got to stand up and clap and whatever, okay. But that's another topic. But anyway, I think the moral of the story is don't put none of them up on no pedestal, because, more money, more problems. Because granted, if she didn't have any money and she was married to Kevin, well, I was going to say he He might not be cheating on her, but a lot of men with no money cheat. But he wouldn't have been able to buy her no big ring or no house. I'll tell you that. So that's what I got. It's late right now, and I wish everyone a good night. Sleep well, get some rest, and start of a new day. I will be back to bring you another article. And guys, if you have not subscribed, please do that now on Spreaker. Please follow and click the notification bell, and I will talk to you soon. Good night.